happens in these situations, especially in football, right? In basketball, so many games. In football, there's a handful of games. So we lose to Philadelphia regular season. And they like, we got this handled. We gonna take care of them. They had the mindset to send their equipment. So they pack up everything, advanced equipment, already started to head to San Diego where the Super Bowl was being held. We got to play the game on Sunday. They already done packed up everything. They had to turn around in New Mexico.
Wait, was that the year? Because I was at the vet. It was like the second to last game ever at the vet when they beat. It was the last game. We shut it down. Second to last was when they beat Vic, right? Because I was at that game freezing.
What year was they played to get to?
I think so. I think they beat. I
don't remember.
Atlanta.
What year was that, Key?
Man, don't ask me. I don't even remember.
03, 02, 03.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember. So, but it was fun though, watching the people cry.
I'm gonna tell you, don't judge me though. Like something about like seeing like little kids cry too. Like for me, King Petty, like
everybody. I don't care.
The kid's like, oh, yeah.
I always stuck in my head when
that's mean, but
when they asked Larry Bird once what was the best part about beating the Lakers, and he said knowing that Magic was suffering in the other locker room. I'm hold up, wait, that's the best part? The best part out of everything is your rival's pain.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wait a second though, Max. We talk about the king of all pettiness, Michael Jordan, your guy.
Yeah.
What was that story you told me about? Oh, he wants his opponent to be at their best, so he knows that he can beat them.
Stephen A. actually told me he was like, he would do things to provoke and antagonize his opponents the night before a deciding finals game or a series. And I would say, of course, that's like what Muhammad Ali or Kobe or any master psychologist would do. They would try to get you off your game, get you angry. Stephen A. said, no, Jordan's intention was this. He wanted you to be motivated to be at your very best so that when he beat you,
take your soul, man. Take your soul.
You knew that he beat the best version of you.
Savage.
That's next level competitive. Anyway, Steph has got that little petty thing. I love it. I love it. Is he top 10? Is he top 10 all time? That's something we got to get into. You know, another petty player, I guess all the greats, right?
Takes one to know one.
Because Klay Thompson's first ballot Hall of Famer eventually, and he's petty too. Listen to this.
There was this one player on the Grizzlies who tweeted strength in numbers after they beat us in the regular season, and it pissed me off so much. I can't wait to retweet that thing. Freaking bum. I had to watch that. I'm just like, this freaking clown. Okay. Sorry. That memory just popped up. You're gonna mock us? Like, you ain't ever been there before, bro. We've been there. We know what it takes. So to be here again, hold that.
Jaren Jackson, where are you? Hello, calling Jaren Jackson to the aisle 3, Jaren Jackson, Memphis Grizzlies. By the way, get your popcorn next year.
Because Ja wasn't there. Ja was hurt.
My goodness, I am there for all of that between the Memphis Grizzlies and Golden State.
And you got to experience that to take the next step if you're Memphis.
But so I'm going to say something too. Like,
he called him a bum.
He called him a bum and a clown.
Yeah.
That's like personal.
Jaren Jackson could play too.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson, all right, but like
he's good.
I mean, Jaren Jackson was popping off at the mouth for somebody that's not been there before. But like, I'm all for that.
He's not Klay Thompson.
I'm all for that. Like, and Ja, they bring that same kind of energy. Golden State's probably a favorite to win it again next year. You would probably say that. I don't know what the odds are. I don't know if they came out, but
yeah, I was gonna say did that come out already? They usually release it like right after a game, right?
I mean, they're talking about extending Wiggins on his contract. He has 1 year left on his deal.
I want to see what the Bucks do, the Sixers do, the Nets do in the off season. You got to see like what the powerhouses do.
I'm tired of talking about them.
Yeah,
they're talking about re-signing James Harden.
You said what? Yeah,
re-signing James Harden.
We ain't talk about the city in a couple weeks, man.
No, but I'm just trying to talk about.
I also have to turn my gaze now. Apparently, there's a mandate on this show. Jay and Key say I now have to focus on Kevin Durant.
Well, you are the master motivator.
I don't care who you focus on. It's your job. I just know you. Now that your taste buds are satisfied with Steph Curry,
who's next?
You now got to target somebody else, I'm sure.
Great player who somehow, the man in the arena. Yeah,
somebody that you just have a real I was going to say something.
Yeah.
Hey, but be careful with that one across the East River, though, because unlike Tom Brady or Stephen Curry,
He gonna fire back.
He gonna bite back.
But by the way,
hard.
see, you guys, honestly, you take it the wrong way. The question is,
do
you've
we?
now reached a certain level of greatness. There's another level. There's always can you get that? And that's the whole drama.
So wait,
if it was easy, everyone would do it. Of course, it's very
So
difficult to do.
So now Boston,
Yeah.
people are talking about as a perennial powerhouse in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Who played for Boston? Kyrie Irving.
Yep.
Now you're talking about Kevin Durant, who played for Golden State. They win a championship. People are saying they're the favorite next year. Stephen A. saying they could probably win it the next 2 out of 3 years. Who's across the East River? I mean, KD and Kyrie on the same team. That's a lot of pressure on those two shoulders.
Yeah, it is, and it's an easy, for me, it's an easy, if I was Max and I was, looking to stir the pot up, it's easy for me to look at Kevin Durant. And the reason it would be easy is because Steph Curry did it without Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant didn't do it without Steph Curry. It's almost like the
Shaq and Kobe.
Shaq and Kobe.
But be careful now.
Yes.
Be careful now.
Why?
Because you're also fueling his Bill Belichick argument that Bill can't do it without Tom.
Yeah, I don't.
Guys, you all
I
know.
just-
Here's
don't
the
feel
thing.
that. Be careful.
Here's
Be
what
careful what you do.
here's what you will
Understand
find. I'm not writing it. I'm reading the script. The athletes write the script. Kobe did have to show that he could do it without Shaq, and he did it. That's why he's Kobe Bryant. If he wouldn't have done it, he wouldn't quite be the Kobe we think of now. That he did something that was
hear you.
very, very difficult.
No, and the difference between Belichick and Brady's situation, Belichick don't give a damn about what Max is talking about. See,
He's just thinking about the next opponent.
He's not going to, he's moving on to the next
he's just
opponent.
focused on Carolina. They got to
gonna
play
do-
Carolina, whatever.
He's not going to do what Curry's fire back at you when you win. He's done something that I think 3 other players in NBA history has done that's in that top 10. I think Kareem done it, LeBron's done it, and Michael Jordan's done it. Nobody else has done those MVPs, postseason MVPs, been able to do what he's done, winning
30 points, whatever
4
it is. Yeah,
championships,
however you
all
put
that.
it together. Yeah, he's
so
on the
if
list.
you got, there
Here
it
it
is
is.
right there.
No,
Michael
it's Jerry
Jordan,
West.
LeBron James, and Jerry West. Nobody else has done that.
35-5 in the finals on average in the final series.
And then there's another one talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Is that it right
Multiple
there? There you go. There you
MVPs,
go right
finals
there.
MVPs,
There
and
you go.
scoring titles. There are
Nobody
5
else
of
has
them.
done that.
This is really interesting.
The only unanimous MVP, and by the way, games with 10+ threes in NBA history, he leads it by a wide margin.
Well, of course.
So
I mean,
there
it's
you
the
go.
new. Here's what's interesting to me about this list. If you do your top 10, and this is multiple MVPs, a Finals MVP, and scoring titles.
Yes.
Steph, LeBron, MJ, Kareem, Wilt.
And here's why Wilt probably gets kicked out.
Yep,
Because he doesn't have as many championships
Got 2.
as Steph Curry.
in 2 different cities, and he was playing in the Bill Russell era on a loaded
But
team.
like
But
Jay
they
said,
were on a
man, you
loaded team.
8 feet tall,
Yeah.
and everybody else is 5.
Well, hold on.
So I've talked to some, I'm not going to say who they are, but some very, very highly respected players from that era. Very high.
Sure.
Okay, who said to me, like, Jay, I'm not minimizing Wilt because Wilt was incredible, right? But the 2 championships, that's one caveat. And I know you're going to say, Max, against the contemporaries, right?
Yeah.
But the average height of players back in that time was 8, right? The average height
Was 8?
Well, like it's saying on a scale.
On a
right?
scale of 1 to what?
1 to 45. Like
Okay,
this is
so
how they use, right?
got it.
Average height during Jordan's time was 28.
Right.
So the size of the frame has increased drastically.
Sure.
The athleticism. So the contemporaries are different. Like now you're looking at LeBron, KD, all these guys. Like I think that warrants something.
Well, yes, you also need to look at the strength of your contemporaries. But when I see a guy 7'1" back then, it's like if there was a dude 8 feet tall today. And like in other words,
But
Wilt,
I don't know if
Wilt
guys
had
are
this
growing
enormous.
I don't know if guys
it's not
are
that you
becoming
grow.
taller.
It's not that you grow Wilt taller. It's that you have to greatness, not who's better. Of course, there are players better than Wilt because skills evolve. But greatness to me is how you fared against your contemporaries. You can discount him for his contemporaries, but the flip side of that is if you're 7'1" and the average player is 6'3", that would be like if we saw a player today come around and he's 8 feet tall and he's an Olympic 110-meter hurdler.
Shaq.
Right. It's
or
like a
Yao
bigger
Ming was
Shaq.
7'6".
It's like Yao Ming if he could play like Shaq. So it's hard for me to take a dude like that out of the top 10. He was so much better than everyone else.
But you already discounting plus the lack of championships compared to everybody else.
And by the way, like there were games in which Wilt like fizzled. I mean, I know
not fizzled, but didn't.
I've always heard this from his. I've heard
like
this from his contemporaries. What they say is, if you needed scoring, Wilt would give you the assists.
Yeah.
If you needed passing, he would give you the points. He had that like almost in a way big man trying to fit in thing where it's like he's not quite in the moment of truth imposing himself like. But let me just say, Jay, the impressive thing about that list is those 4 other names, Kareem, MJ, LeBron, and Wilt, are usually 4 of the top 5 for people, along with, who am I missing? Bill Russell, right? Who didn't do it with the stats the same way. That's usually people's top 5.
Top 5. I mean,
huh?
Bill Russell has
It's hard.
chips, man.
It's hard.
11 chips, man.
hard.
He's in my top 5.
Granted, with the caveat though, you had to win 2 playoff rounds in order to, from 57 to 65, to actually win a championship. So it was elongated, but still.
Bill Russell played in 21 deciding games in his career. High school, college, like the whole thing, and the pros. 21 times he came down to the deciding game, right? What do you think his record was in those 21 games? Deciding games in his career, amateur and pro, Bill Russell.
What, he undefeated? He lost 1?
21-0.
Undefeated.
No,
okay,
when it comes down to
done.
it. When it comes, that dude's a winner, period. So Steph, what I love also what he said, guys, when he made it about the team, Jay, so much of the argument with Steph is, yeah, KD might have been a better player than him, but who creates that team where they win?
His resume's better than KD's. Come on, man.
Now, especially.
He got 2 without KD, and obviously opposed to the 2 with KD. Like, he has 2 MVPs. Like, all the records that he's setting, and I know KD will go down as one of the most gifted scorers ever to play the game of basketball, but, I mean, that's the reality of it.
They were on the same team though, and KD was better. Listen. I would say just for me.
But was he? But see,
was he better? Yeah.
Was he better because he's just better and he's 7 feet tall, or was he better because that is the way Steve Kerr coached him up, and Curry deferred to him as the guy? Like, you recognize when I played my 2-on-2 with Jay. Hey, Jay, go right ahead. But you're the guy.
That's because even if you're Kobe, if you got Shaq, just give Shaq the ball. You can't lose.
That's what Kobe did.
Yeah, right.
Kobe said, my time will come.
So my top, I'll give you 10, okay? This is just for me, whatever. But there's a lot of lists are similar. My top 5 I'll put in order. I have MJ, LeBron, Kareem, Bill Russell, Wilt. Okay, that's my 5. And then the next 5 in no particular order, Magic and Bird and Kobe, Duncan, and who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Shaq.
Did you say Magic?
Yeah, Magic, Bird, Kobe, Shaq, Duncan, those 5. To me, the guy I got my eye on, if Steph replaces someone or KD, let's see, might be Duncan. Because as great as he was over the course of his career, I think Kobe hit higher heights. Duncan didn't have a run where that's the best player in the game for 5 years or something like that, and top 10 all-time player. Do you think Wilt gets replaced? Do you think he's already replaced by Steph?
I do, because I think the lack of championships, even though there is individual greatness, I think that if you're measuring resumes by championships in conjunction with the individual greatness, yes.
Interesting. What about you, Key?
I mean, Tim Duncan is one of the greatest dynasties of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hold that thought.
Steph Curry was asked about finally winning Finals MVP.
What does just this mean to you to finally be a Finals MVP after everything?
Forget that. We champs. Why are you starting with that question? We got 4 championships.